Hey guys, welcome back. Made a little bit more progress on the car. Took a little longer than I was kind of hoping for. We had some snowstorms up north, so kind of had shipping delays from Jegs. Not their fault, but just took a little extra time, almost a whole week to get some parts. I actually still have some stuff waiting in the mail. I did end up getting my Jegs aluminum racing seat. I've been actually busy wiring. I removed a whole lot of just crap out of the car. So obviously it's still a mess. There's lots of loose wires and things just kind of going everywhere at the moment. But big thing is building this relay panel. I actually just finished building this brace right before I started. This is what I've been working on for the last, I don't know, a couple nights or so. You can kind of see it all up in there. I ended up doing a total of 8 relays. It's definitely overkill considering the fact that I only have 6 switches, but it gives me some room to grow, or if for whatever reason, say a relay fails, I need to quickly be able to change it for just ignition or a fan, something along those lines, I can easily move some wires and get it back going without even having to replace a relay. So pretty much everything is going to come in to this side of the panel off of the switch panel itself. From there, this side will be all output then. And from there, it'll be things such as ignition power, the starter, what else do we got? Electric fan, and then eventually once we upgrade to say an electric fuel pump, things like that, we'll be able to have it just on demand quickly. So it won't take much wiring then at that point. Besides that, it's really coming together for that. That was a kind of a tedious job. It's honestly probably some of my best wiring work. I know there's a lot of other guys that can do some better stuff, but pretty proud of that one. I did actually end up picking up a Jegs AC delete panel. It's kind of thin aluminum. Should work pretty well though for the most part. I do plan on putting 2 bulkheads for the positive and negative that will then also feed the panel that's right behind this. Another thing I'm going to do, and something I've kind of done in the past for stuff, is I'm going to use 7-way trailer wiring. Kind of as silly as it is, the nice thing is it's fully insulated. Then obviously each wire and color will be indicated for something within that harness. So I can actually pre-wire the whole harness with this pigtail then, and everything will be kind of coded then at that point. It's not a whole bunch of red wires, things like that. It's a decent gauge wire. I believe I want to say somewhere around 14 or 16 gauge. Just something I've had laying around from when I built my Jeep. I use that actually for taillight wiring and headlights and turn signals. It was just the quickest, easiest way rather than running all separate wiring or buying one of those painless wiring harness kits. I did also end up digging out my old electric fan, and it had a shroud on it already from an old aluminum radiator. It's probably about 2 inches too narrow on each side, which I know isn't 100% correct, but I had intentions originally of just pulling that fan off the shroud and doing the fan zip ties through it and doing it that way, but I figured, hell, it's got to be better than nothing. So same deal like I talked about in the last video. If this combo just doesn't stay cool, I'll end up just putting a radiator in the car and go about it that direction. It actually worked out. It was the correct height. It kind of fit right down in there. Was able to fasten it to the radiator and then just use the factory shroud kind of just to retain it for now. Another thing is the HEI distributor plugs for the tach and the ignition for that. I got one right here. A lot of time these things end up becoming super brittle and they're kind of a pain in the butt. Like this one was just cut laying in there for the tach. I was able to find fresh brand new ones right on Amazon. They're a decent wire gauge. I mean, they're by no means no 10 gauge, but they should do the trick for now until I end up putting a MSD distributor or something along that lines in the car. So just fresh clips, something a little better and reasonably priced. Along with my jegs order coming in, my gauges finally showed up. Let's see if I get that to focus. Here you go. So just the simple basics: water, volts, oil pressure. They fit real nice. Everything was great with that. I still gotta, finish fastening all this in, but I also need to wire this all in. I'm going to plan on wiring the lights in each of these into the factory harness of the car. That way, when you were to pull the headlights on, all the gauges will light up just as if it was factory. I did also dig out my old autometer gauge, the big 5-inch monster tack. I was able to fasten that right to the side of the main dash. And it just all kind of blends and matches with the black face, silver rings. So it was just kind of a nice touch. Had it laying around, so I figured why not. KBR ended up bringing over the Summit carb that came off this car. It is a 600 CFM. It's by no means anything spectacular, but the hope is this will get the car running. It's going to do the things. Eventually, I'd like to either try to find some sort of Holley double pumper. It could easily be a 650 or more CFM. Ideally, it'd be pretty nice to try and find a Holley sniper of some sorts if I could pick one up and put on the car, just because I'm a little bit more familiar with obviously EFI from my Jeep, and then too also all the tuning software is all the same. The other thing that I'm waiting on for jegs is I ended up actually ordering a jegs 13-inch steering wheel, and jegs also offers a quick disconnect that bolts onto the factory splines for the steering shaft, which is kind of a cool piece. So I'll later on do a video of just kind of showing how to remove the factory wheel, how to install that, and get that all set up as well too.